Hey everyone, I hope that you all are having just a great week. And I want to take a second just to thank you so much for taking some of your valuable time to come on and jump on this little information behind the scenes look at what I do as a health and wellness coach. So, a couple different things I want to give you. First, a forewarning. My dog is barking in the background. I'm so sorry. I think he probably sees somebody outside. Or he's giving his 2 cents. I don't know what it is. So I do apologize for that. And number two, I have a couple of notes to the side of me. So if you see me looking over that direction, you know what that's about, just to make sure that I share all the valuable information that I was thankful to know whenever I started coaching, and some things that I've learned along the way as well. So first and foremost, I'm going to introduce myself. For those of you that might not know me, my name is Farrell York, and I work in the physical therapist assistant world. I'm an outpatient orthopedic physical therapist by trade, and I am an educator in the physical therapist assistant program at a community college here in Cedar Rapids, and I teach a variety of health and wellness classes. And so being in the health and wellness industry is something that has been at the epicenter of my life for a really, really long time. And so for whatever reason, I found myself just feeling like I was missing something when it came to my own health and wellness, even though I have all those different avenues that I'm able to really reach out and hopefully impact people's health and wellness and them becoming the best version of themselves. Some of you may or may not know, I've had the opportunity to represent Iowa as Mrs. Iowa International in 2010, Mrs. Iowa America in 2013, and Mrs. Iowa USA in 2016, and was able to finish first runner-up at Mrs. USA. And so I have a variety of different genres in my life of working through health and fitness and trying to also, focus on personal development and really just become what I believe I was intended to be. And while I was going through all of these things, and don't get me wrong, they all give me so much joy, and I'm so thankful for each and every one of the opportunities that I've had, I kept finding myself feeling like I was putting my own health and fitness in the back burner in order to make sure that I was getting everyone else what they needed. And I would find myself, constantly looking towards that next event in my life. So I would be like, okay, let me think about getting ready for this next pageant so that I can not only get myself physically in the shape that I want, but I can also continue to focus on improving just all of me, my mental side, my spiritual side, and everything. And so I have a history of some eating disorder backgrounds as well, and endurance activities that I like to partake in, triathlons, marathons, all these things. And I found that I was constantly running, no pun intended, running towards this goal. And then I would achieve it, and then I would run towards the next goal. Then I would achieve it, or maybe fall just a little short, and then try to figure out what sort of ways I could kind of beat myself into submission to try to accomplish the next goal. And I just found myself feeling like empty, void. I mean, happy, accomplished, but like there was just something missing. And so a friend of mine who I got to know just via social media by the name of Beth Isbell, who is my coach, I've been following her journey for a little while. And I'll be honest, I'm seeing her at-home workouts, and I'm seeing some of her recipes and so on. And I'm like, there is no way that this is something that's going to work for me. Like, there's just no way. I need to go to a gym. I need to do all the things that I've always done to, like I said, kind of beat myself into submission to get the results that I'm looking for, both physically, mentally, emotionally, and what have you. So I just followed her journey. And finally, one day, I had just gotten to the point where I was like, okay, I am missing something. And I just feel compelled to just ask her, like, what's the secret? Like, hook me up. Can I get some of your recipes? Can I get some of your workouts? Might be kind of nice to shake things up a little bit. So I reached out to her, and she talked to me about Beachbody programs. And I thought, Beachbody, that's like that P90X thing. And little did I know really what Beachbody is all about, which is literally empowering their coaches to empower their challengers to become the best version of themselves from the inside out. And so I thought, what do I have to lose? The investment was something that I felt comfortable with. I felt 100% comfortable with Beth. And I thought, you know what do I have to lose? And so that was in February of this year. And literally life-changing for me. No longer was I just eating chicken, rice, and broccoli. No longer was I spending hours upon hours at the gym. And finally, I was having someone encourage me and say, it's okay. And you know what? I want you to read personal development, listen to podcasts that empower you. And suddenly I found myself surrounded with this tribe of amazing women in this virtual accountability and support group for health and wellness that it literally just put a fire in my belly. And I realized this is what I've been missing. This is what I've been missing. I need to be able to pour into myself so that I can continue to pour into others. No longer was I spending, like I said, all of this time beating myself mentally, physically, into submission, into this thing that I thought that I needed to be. And so when I felt that love, that community, that camaraderie, and I started to feel so alive, and I started to embrace the process, embrace the journey, it literally changed my life. And because it changed my life, I felt compelled to share this with as many people as I could possibly share it with, because I knew how much it impacted my life. And because my mantra is really, if you followed me for a minute on social media, or if you haven't, no big deal. But my mantra is live, learn, survive. Live each day to the fullest, learn to make a difference, survive and thrive with grace and diligence. And this was finally a way that I could embrace that process, trust the journey, fill myself up, surround myself with an amazing community of individuals that were like-minded, so that then I could pay all of that forward. And because that was so inspiring and so life-changing to me and continues to be so, I had to share it with as many people as I possibly could, because that really truly is the live, learn, survive. So that's my story about becoming a Beachbody coach. And the thing that I loved even more about it is there are 4 vital behaviors that Beachbody believes in order to be the best version of yourself, so that you can be the best coach. And it literally is being proof that these products, and when I say these products, I don't mean like supplements and what have you. I mean the product of this lifestyle. Be proof that it works. And so that thought process of making sure that you're getting your workouts in, you're getting adequate sleep, you're surrounding yourself with, good, strong, amazing individuals such as yourselves, so that we can grow one another into the people that we are intended to be, following the nutrition plans and nourishing your body so that you actually have the energy to be able to continue to pay that forward. Number 2, you really want to make sure that you are getting healthy and well from the inside out. That's the thing. I thought Beachbody was this big P90X thing, right? And that's all we were going to do, when it totally isn't. It's about personal development. It's about good, solid nutrition. It's about progress, not perfection. And it's about sharing that with everyone else. So let me try to answer a couple of questions. And if you have questions, go ahead and just unmute yourself and feel free to ask any of the questions, because, I really want this to be something that is resonating with you, so that you can, look into things and see if this is something that is right for you. So I'm going to check my notes, like I said. A couple things is what does a coach look like? And it looks like you. And I know that sounds like super cliche, but it really can be whatever you want it to be. So I started off thinking that I was going to just go more the preferred customer route, which is a discount coach. Beachbody calls it a discount coach, but I like to call it a preferred customer. And so basically what that means is you say, hey, I believe in this for myself, and I like this group of people that I have surrounding me. And so, I'm interested in having a discount And so if that's what you want it to be, because you just believe in this process enough for you to be in it for the long haul, and you want to have a 25% discount, awesome. Then that's what a Beachbody coach looks like, or a preferred customer looks like. Let's say you think, you know what, I really like this, and this really resonates with me and has impacted me enough that I really would like to share this with some individuals as well. But you know what, I am not interested in, working this business 40 hours a week, but I'm interested in, just kind of really being more a hobbyist, if you will. So I love it. I want to stay involved for myself. I love that Beachbody pours into me, and I want that. I want to keep working on my own health and wellness journey, but I also have some friends that I'd like to just share this with, and we can kind of do this together. So that's what I would consider a hobby coach. And so you're going to get the discount, which is phenomenal. But you're also going to have the opportunity to be able to share your journey, which is really what this is all about as a coach, is sharing your journey. And so you might be interested in building a bit of residual income that way. Now, let's say you're like all in. This just puts a fire in your belly and you cannot wait to scream this from the mountaintops. And you think, you know what, I have some goals of maybe being able to work this a little bit more full time. Maybe I could pour into early retirement. Maybe it can help me make my house payment. Maybe you're like me, and ultimately you want to be able to work the jobs that you work, but you want to work them on your own time, and you want to be able to have this impact that's a little bit larger than just the individuals that are right in front of you. So you like the idea of having the ability to work with people and empower people from a virtual standpoint so that you actually can reach over miles and miles and miles. Then that's fine too. You actually want to think of yourself as maybe a business builder then. And so what does that mean? What it means is your goal is to make sure that you put your own health and wellness and your own personal development first and foremost, so that you can pour into others and you share your journey. You share your journey one-on-one. You share your journey with the people that are in your community. You share your journey virtually. And what that looks like then is your goal is to impact and help 3 people every month. And helping 3 people every month by sharing your journey and putting effort into your health and wellness will allow you to start to build your business. 3 people. So now, as far as things that I also think, are important to think about as far as maybe being more the business builder, you want to start thinking about building your tribe and being a part of this community that is of the like-minded individuals that I was telling you about. We all share a passion for health, wellness, empowering one another, building each other up, and literally trying to help people realize their power that already lies within themselves. And so you want to think about being plugged into that group as well, so that you can continue to grow yourself, and so that you can then start to build your community and your tribe, and then your business can grow and grow and grow. So that's kind of the thought process. So you've got like these extremes. You can be the preferred customer, and hey, you know what? I just want to be a part of the product and I want my 25% off. Awesome. Great. Not a problem. I'm kind of right in the middle. Great, awesome, we've got room for you there too. Or you know what, hey, I really want to make this a business to where I can make a larger impact, and I'm really interested in sharing the ability to coach. And so that's great too. So we've got all of those options for you, and it really is all about whichever fits the best for you right now. I started over here. Then I kind of started to see a little bit of this, but I jumped this middle ground and I decided, hey, I really want to go to this point because I really feel like it is in my belly. That passion is just there to be able to reach as many people as possible. And so there you go. So it looks different at different phases of your life too, and that's okay too. So let's go into a couple of the things that I think, at least for me, were kind of scary whenever I first started thinking about the actual coaching side of it. So I'm going to go ahead and leave the discount the preferred customer to the side, because this isn't something that you would have to worry about at all. But if there's something that is inside you that thinks, hey, you know what, I'd like to maybe look into the business side of this, I'd like to maybe help a little bit more individuals, I'll tell you a couple of things that were in the forefront of my mind before I jumped in. The first thing was time. I am, like I said, I have a couple different positions, a couple different hats that I wear, and some of you are, wives and mothers and, daughters and all the things. And so I just thought to myself, if I do something, I really want to do it well, and I want to make sure that I have adequate time to put into it. And I will tell you that oftentimes the people that are the busiest are the ones that have just the most success in this industry, because when you're busy, you are typically more productive in little pockets of time, because those are the pockets of time that you have. The other reason behind that is when you're busy, you have a lot of network. You have a lot of people that you come in contact with. And so the opportunity to be able to share this nutrition, health, and mindset with people is a little bit larger because you have that network in place. Now, if you don't have that network in place, don't worry. It's not a problem. We absolutely, and when I say we, Dream Dynasty is the team that I belong to, and it's about 100, 104 people now. And so we have the ability and the resources to be able to help you learn the ins and outs of that side of it, which kind of leads me to the next thought process is, what kind of support and what kind of training am I going to have? So social media training. Absolutely. We have, and that's kind of what I want to start with that is because we have 2 individuals, and I am assisting in that department. The 2 individuals I'm speaking of are coaching nearly full-time and full-time. And I'm working on trying to get there. And so the amount of time that I spend is just a little bit less than these 2 ladies, but we actually have a coach prep school that we call. And so what happens is when you decide you want to be that business builder coach or that hobby coach, we get you all of that information on that prep school. And it gives you step by step on how to launch your business, how to grow your business, how to learn the ins and outs of social media, how to understand that it's okay that you are not a health and wellness expert. You don't need to be. What you need to be an expert at is sharing your story. You need to be an expert at being supportive, at being a cheerleader, at being a motivational person, at really locking arms with people and saying, hey, I'm going to come alongside you and we're going to accomplish these goals together. So that thought process is right there, but yet on the same token, we've got the tools and the tips to be able to plug you right into a group, and we'll get you off the ground running. And that specific prep school takes 7 days to get through. Once you get through that, we actually have a Facebook group that is 100% dedicated towards training and support. And so every single week we have a team call on Monday evenings that there is always some sort of training, there's always support, there's always brainstorming and things like that to try to help you get to wherever it is that you want to get in this business. So the support is there from me, from the rest of our team, from my coach. So there's just a plethora of individuals that literally want to see each other succeed because we believe in one another and we believe in the power of health and wellness from the inside out. So that support is 100% there. The payoff, I was a little concerned about that. The payoff and the time, I think, go hand in hand. I'll be honest, when I first started coaching, my goal was not to leave my day job. And my goal now is to just be able to really minimize my day job hours and to be able to coach more. So the payoff, I wanted to know that I was going to be able to reimburse myself for my time, but more than anything, it was, for me, understanding that I had control of that. And so what I mean by that is the time and the payoff are so inverse, are so directly related. And so for me, I find pockets of time where I can sit down and I can work my business, say in like 15 to 30-minute increments on some days. And then on some days I have more of like an hour to 2 hours to work on it. And I would say for me, I work the business on a really busy week for me. On my other jobs, I work the business maybe 3 to 5 hours a week. Now, whenever I was more on this side, I would work the business about an hour or so a week. But now I know that there are other coaches that work the business like 15 to 20 hours a week because they've got the time to be able to do that, and that's their focus, and their goals are just a little different. So what I'm saying is as you can put as much time as you want into this, and most often that is kind of what dictates the payoff. So early on, I just wanted to be able to pay for the products that I was ordering and break even. And that worked out really well. I was actually able to do that within the first couple of weeks of me coaching. And then my goals turned into more financial. Like I want to be able to save for retirement, or I want to be able to do some updates on the house, or I want to be able to go on vacation and, put some money away for savings for those sorts of things. And so that's my goal now. So because my goal is a little bit larger, then I put in a little bit more time. And so the direct relationship there is really in your power. You get to make it what you want it to be. You're the CEO of your own business. And so you get to decide. So, that's one of those things I don't really want to scare you because, again, you have total control. So a couple things that also might be thinking, we talked about time. We talked about basically when we're talking about time early on, I want you to think of it this way. I want you to think about getting your workout in every day. I want you to think about your nutrition, drinking your Shakeology, and sharing your experience. That's primarily what I want you to think about. You'd be surprised how many people actually will respond to you just initially by you sharing your experience. And I know it's scary to think about that, but as soon as you start to, and maybe it's not scary to you, that's great. It was scary to me. But as soon as you start to see the lives that you impact and you start to get the information of, hey, you know what, I go and reach for my water instead of reaching for, my 8th cup of coffee. And I actually just feel so much more alive. Or, I've had people say, gosh, you know what, with my Shakeology, I don't have my cravings like I used to have. And so, I'm not eating the things that I wasn't wanting to eat. I'm actually fueling my body with really dense nutrition. When you start to get those today, I had a text message from one of my challengers. She got engaged. And so when I see that the confidence that she had in herself allowed her to move to a position where she was able to put herself out there in the dating world and she's engaged. I mean, I was one of the first people she texted. I mean, she texted her family and her mom, but I was one of her first people. And that is just such an amazing feeling that suddenly that scariness of sharing, it just kind of goes away after you start to get some of that payoff. It's just like, oh, I want to impact people's lives. That's my goal. And so that text today was just an example of how amazing these things are whenever you have the opportunity to impact somebody in that way. A lot of times people will say, and I was guilty of this too, I want to get in better shape first. I can tell you, I think that's the worst decision because it's so impactful for you to be authentically you and for you to allow people to see the real you. We don't want to see perfection. That doesn't exist, right? We want to see progress and we want to see a real person in front of us. That's what motivates us. So I had to get past that too, but it definitely has made a difference. I feel like people can connect to us whenever we are more quote unquote real and people can go through the journey with us. Fear of running a challenge group. So keep this in mind. I ran my first couple of challenge groups with my upline coach. And so I never felt like I was put in a position where I was asked to do something that I wasn't ready for. I was encouraged. I was stretched a little bit. There was a lot of growth that had to happen, but that's what your coach is for, is to help you. I have coaches running challenge groups with me right now. So keep that in mind. Tons of resources to help you with that too. In fact, Beachbody actually has challenge group guides that helps you go through step by step by step. And then the last thing I hear from a lot of people is, you know what, Farrell, you have a lot of fitness and nutrition background, and you know what, I'm not a nutrition or fitness expert, and so this probably isn't the right fit for me. And I would tell you that that's not necessary. In fact, I love being able to just put my sole trust, even as a fitness professional, I love being able to put my sole trust into Beachbody and the super trainers and the people that have created these programs. And I will tell you from a professional standpoint, I'm really, really picky with things that I will put my stamp of approval on when it comes to the health and wellness world. And every single one of these programs I've gone through 4 different types of nutrition plans, and I'm on my 5th program my 4th program, sorry, as far as the workouts go, and they line right up with what I think is safe, beneficial, effective for people. And so I'm here to tell you from my background in fitness and health and wellness, you don't need to be a health or fitness or wellness professional, because really seriously, Beachbody has got that locked down. What you need to be able to do is be able to, like I said, come alongside people and lock arms with them and say, you know what, hey, let's do this together. I've got these great programs that are nutritionally sound, that are focused on health and wellness from the inside out, and really are looking at making the long-term change. You know what, I'll tell you, it is not a get fit quick strategy. It is not a quick finance strategy. It definitely is, let me give you the tools to allow you to help yourself become the best version of you possible, from a health standpoint, a wellness standpoint, and from a spiritual and a mindset standpoint as well. So you really don't need to be. And you know what, one of the gals I was telling you about, one of the gals that is like one of the most successful gals on our specific team, she is a marketing expert. That's her background. You know, she worked in ad sales. And so, and she's been able to be incredibly successful in this business without being a health and wellness professional. What she does is she makes sure that she takes care of herself, her workouts, her nutrition. She shares her journey, and she helps people do the same. So if you can do those things, then this is a perfect fit for you. So you've got some things to think about, right? I hope you've had plenty of information to be able to, you know, just wrap your mind around the different options. You've got the preferred customer, you've got the hobby coach, and you've got the business builder. So some things to think about. If this seems like a right fit to you, what is the next step? What I want you to do is I want you to reach out to the coach that invited you to tonight's call, and they can help you get plugged into a challenge group if you aren't already, or if you've already been in a challenge group and a challenger and you're ready to jump right into coaching, that's great too. But we can help you get to that next step. And if it's not right for you at this point in time, that's okay too. Nothing wrong with that whatsoever. We are here to be of service to you in whatever way that looks. So again, thank you so much for jumping on this evening. I greatly appreciate your time, and please do not hesitate to ask any questions that you may have, because that's what we're exactly here for. So have a great night, guys. We'll talk to you soon.